did we lose him for a second?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there we go. Are we okay?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Oh, excellent. Could you go to the other tab that I have here, which is here and Trump's final numbers. Now, I want to show you something here. I'm going to read out loud to you something. And I just want to establish first, there is a lot of division in the world right now over this man. There are many things that I can tell you based on my own research, but I'm not going to. Because you might think, maybe Lon's trying to convince us of something, and even if his sources are really good, still he might have a bias, and I want something more neutral. Many people have said, even here, that Donald Trump should be allowed a second chance because he was fine the first time. We've already heard from Logan about this. He makes some good points. I've had students in other classes say, it doesn't matter what Donald Trump says. Who cares what he said? He was good for the economy, and he really understands business. I could, again, provide some background on that, but I'm not going to help you. Let's just look at this. The Annenberg Center for Public Policy at the University of Pennsylvania, 20 years ago, created this institute. And it was called, at the beginning, the Center for Public Research. I think that's the name, but then they started this organization called factcheck.org. And it gradually, over the last 20 years, became the go-to place for good information, neutral information, because the people who started this platform were really concerned in 2002 or 2003 at this thing called virality. Viral information that goes around the world that's all made up. And they felt that there needed to be a place where human beings could go where they could feel that they could trust the information, because the internet, social media, was creating this explosion of fake information everywhere, and people are getting confused. Who do you trust? What do we trust? And then in addition to that, we had the big investigation in the last time Donald Trump won over the fact that Russia was fabricating all of these videos and other pieces to flood people's social media accounts to support Donald Trump. At any rate, let's just look at what this is. So one person, a journalist, decided to form this organization. Gradually, it's grown to 9 full-time journalists, as well as a community of scholars from University of Pennsylvania and elsewhere who are checking all the information. And this organization has been quoted by right-wing, left-wing, Congress, senators, I don't know, Stephen Colbert or Jon Stewart on the left, to, senators and congressmen on the right saying, trust this, it's good. So they've won awards, and they've created a page, a long page with graphs and summaries on, so what are the final numbers exactly on what Donald Trump achieved in his first time as president, in his first time. I want to read you this. Where did it go? Oh, come back? Yeah, great. Excellent. I want to read you this because it also connects to how I ended last week's class. I can't stress enough, as you know, we all have to think about this, that your source of information now going forward is going to be even more important in this world where information is becoming even more complex and more difficult. So what did they say about Donald Trump? Well, the statistics for the entirety of Donald Trump's time in office are nearly all compiled. As we did for his predecessor 4 years ago, we present a final look at the numbers. Look at this.
The economy lost 2.7 million jobs. Lost. The unemployment rate increased. Didn't decrease. Hold on, I just want to. Yes. Maybe. But let me just say one basic fact. Any president knows, any leader, you deal with the crisis that you're given. We can't say COVID is any worse or any different than any other crisis. There are crises you deal with, and you have to figure out how to deal with them so that things can still advance. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, but let's look. Paychecks grew faster than inflation. Average weekly earnings for all workers were up 8.4% after inflation. After-tax corporate profits went up, and the stock market set new records. The S&P 500 index rose 67.8%. That might give you an idea of why Elon Musk, who was against Trump, has now thrown his support behind Trump. He probably is going to make a lot more money under Trump, a lot more. But that's my opinion. I have to be careful. But I think that's logical. Logical. The international trade deficit Trump promised to reduce went up. The U.S. trade deficit in goods and services in 2020 was the highest since 2008 and increased 36.3%. So the deficit went up. Borrowing. That would be consistent with his businesses. 5 bankruptcies while he was out of office. You just borrow money. You just keep borrowing and borrowing. Doesn't matter. Trudeau feels the same, by the way. Justin Trudeau, same policies. Just borrow. Borrow your way out of it. The number of people lacking health insurance rose by 3 million. The federal debt held by the public went up from 14.4 trillion to 21.6 trillion. And I could go on. For your homework, I would like you, this one time, before we return next week, to take a look at this data. Scroll down. I'm not trying to convince you of anything, but you probably know where my heart lies, but I really don't want to be biased. I just want to give you the information. Look at this, Trump's numbers. You've got your little, infographic here you can look at. Then you can just keep going, analysis, and I mean, it's excellent. And you can check the sources, Eugene Kiley, Brooks. I think Brooks is the original creator of factcheck.org. Let's take a look at who these people are for a second, about us, our staff. You can check that. And when we come back next week in the review, let's see where you stand. Maybe over here, there might be some movement. Maybe over here, I don't know. And I'd like you all, as well, for your homework, for your discussion post, to phrase one question, as you always do, after you've read that. That's it. Okay? Fair? Great source. Great discussion. I hope you speak some more in classes, okay? Because you came up here and you're doing your research. I do my research, but maybe we are using different sources and we got to agree. Maybe, and that's the problem. We got to agree. These are part of why it is said, and I will leave you with this final thought, you are entitled to your opinion. You are not entitled to your own facts. We got to have facts. Otherwise, we got problems. Okay, everybody. So thank you all for the beginning of a great conversation. And if there's anything you'd like to talk about, I'm here. Otherwise, I'll see you next week and we'll continue. Thank you.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, we'll post that link. And let me put it in the live chat. I don't know if anybody's left. Yeah, come. Would you be able to put that link in the live chat? And then for now, I'll deal with it later. Okay. Yes, yeah. Okay. Factcheck.org. Okay, let me turn this off. So, okay.